Greetings from Berlin, my friends. I'm Andrea, astrologer, and welcome to this special video about the Astro-based price trajectory. I would try to make it as concise as possible. It is quite a complex astro indicator, to put it like this, and I would like to explain what this is about since I had some questions about it. So let's dive into it. I would like to start with an example from real life that is known to you as investors or traders or both, depending what is your time frame. We do have here a Binance view of the Bitcoin 1 hour chart, and you can see here several indicators. It's a bit cluttered, but I would like you to focus on the fact that we do have this free smooth moving average. You can find the indicator on TradingView. This is a screenshot of it. And you see the price here. The price, each minute, each hour, it will change. There are millions, maybe tens of millions of data points that are collected every single day. Therefore, with the price trajectory, we cannot really make the price, because the question would rise, what is the moment in time where that price is really checked? Therefore, we can talk about a summary or an average. And I go with an average because we have many aspects on the same day, and we would reduce the whole summary to a point, which is very similar in concept to an arithmetic, mathematical average, basically. Now we do have here a graph where we have several time frames for the moving average. For me, it would be very difficult to say what would be, but it would be the shorter frame. Here I have the 21, the 50, and the 200. And the idea is that every time you see a curve in the moving average, you can expect a sort of reversal or a continuation in a stronger manner of that trend. And this is also what we try to identify with the Astro-based moving average or price trajectory, how I called it, ahead of time, so in advance, when you have no idea about the price action nearby. How can we see what is likely to happen? Again, whenever a moving average will increase or decrease significantly, the price will not really have the same trajectory on the spot. Therefore, even if the point is for the day, also the astrological aspects would be delayed. They are not happening to the time, to the minute that they are shown by the software, just to know that. Therefore, we talk about a sort of smooth moving average that would really be a distribution in time that would tell us beforehand as a leading indicator what can we expect from the price if, of course, the money would be proportional with the astrology. We have money in the system, then we will see usually moves. If we have very negative astrology, depends if we are in a bull or a bear market, and we will judge this accordingly. Of course, we will need time to have some experience, some history with the new magnitude after the turn of the markets. So again, we do have a single point in the price trajectory per day, which is a mathematical average of the astrological influences, and it should be seen as a leading indicator, also based on the fact that you know the price point the day before already. Now, how you interpret it, what price do you really take as a comparison? The open, the close, the highest or the lowest price? So we will dive into this immediately so that you have an idea, and also what is the reasoning why I put this also. We have TA, we have tokenomics, we have fundamentals in general, we have plenty of things, and we have the astrology on top. You have these financial calendars and even the hourly, we will go into that as well. So I wanted to have another way, so to speak, to really check what is the price going to do. And this is because we are in a very volatile period of Bitcoin that is ruled by the moon. And this is a very changeable time, I would say, regardless if upwards or downwards, regardless if it's bear or bull market, it is very changeable. And therefore, we want to see it from several angles. And you have here the detailed financial calendar, a sample of it. And if we go here, you see each day is a mix of influences. So how is the difference between one day and the other? From here, how much it will jump here? How much here? How much here? Is this really the same? Do we have big fluctuations? And these are also based on the day level aspects, but also on the aspects during the day, which here we have only a subset of them. Although we know that each hour can matter because it is very volatile as an asset, Bitcoin. So people who are very interested on the shorter time frames, for them it matters a lot. So let's go and see how this looks like in a day. And again, this is only a subset of the aspects that happen in the sky on a certain day. Because Bitcoin is so volatile, actually, and we want to know what happens, and these moon aspects are basically the most volatile, and they are basically the most of them, because this happen each and every hour. Something will happen with the moon. We have here only major aspects, but we have also the day level ones. We do have also the influences at market level, so the global level influences, but also the influences in the Bitcoin chart to correlate everything. So I want to give you an example for the 9th and the 10th. I shoot this on the 10th when it is Sunday, UTC time zone, and in the morning we had a nice surprise. Actually, it would be good to wake up like this each Sunday with a nice pump on BTC and a new at the highest. So basically, we do have here a table that is pretty green. So yes, it pointed towards that, but we didn't see in weekends such a volume. So this is really crazy and outstanding. Yes, we had this nice surprise. And the question is, from this day to that day, basically, if all aspects would happen at the same time, which is not the reality, but we want to make a point for the reality, for an approximation of the reality, basically, in order to be able to compare this one, with the previous ones, you know. And the question is, at which point in time? And my answer would be that it is either at the highest, it's the highest point in time in a day when all aspects are positive, and in a day where all aspects are negative, it's the lowest point in the day, basically. And this is what it helps when I have so many influences and I know that all of them matter. If I do an average of this point with this point for another day, for the next day I have a mathematical average of the astrology of this point. Then another for all these, for the whole table, I create another point. Then I can see on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, what would be really the outlook. And again, it's not real-time price, but it is this average that would really, therefore I call it trajectory. A trajectory is an approximate roadmap, so to speak, of the price in a certain, if you have a car on a map, you wouldn't have each centimeter, which is depicted on the chart, but it is an approximation basically. And the price would follow around that shape. So about price points, you can be guided like this. So for example, you know here that it was a very positive influence, but again, it is at the day level and it doesn't really occur only on that day. It will occur also the day after. But if you have the point, for example, the mathematical average, already this would tell you, 1 day in advance that something is likely to happen. Of course, we need to have volume, and surprisingly, we had volume on Sunday. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and now I would like to go into some closing thoughts, so to speak. Before you go, just to conclude, this way, the price trajectory, so this shape that would be a leading indicator, so this means leading ahead of time, it tells you where the price is likely to go based on astrology, can be computed 1 year in advance, 5 years in advance, if somebody would be curious to do that. And then you do have the whole shape for the year. How this can help you if the intensity astrologically is maximum, this would be a point in time, not really a point, but around that point, it's a signal that the energy is really very, very strong and we can have a new at the highest, for example. And this is really a guideline for you to consider for your investment strategy, of course, for cash and DCA and everything. This is what I wanted to share actually with you. In real time, each day, for example, I know what the price is, and then I look at the energy and I see the trajectory. Is this really likely to stay like this, that the points are approximately the same, or it is a big jump upwards, or it's a big drop? And in my system, I do have 40 points of drop, which means that the drop could be significant. Again, this is not the drop in the money. Why? Money cannot be really computed. Of course, you can do the TA and really see analog cycles like for Venus, for Mercury, and so on. So this is entirely possible, and there are people who do it well, but still you cannot say the correct price. You would go, into Fibonacci levels, you would try to correlate there and with the astrology. Why? Because we do have rules of astrology that are the same, regardless if it's a bull market or a bear market. So we have these excellent greens, yes, that you could see, and we experienced them also during the weekend. Now, these same greens would have been there even if Kamala would have won. Do you think, because of the political landscape, would we have had the same increase? Not really, I would say, because it's also about the promise, about the perspective, the hopes for the future. Because now there is this hope that the regulation for the crypto industry will be quite favorable, and we will go into an era of utility tokens, consumer crypto that would be really widespread, and we will have also financial streams that are really tied to use cases that would serve individual people and also potentially corporations as well. So we don't know how this will develop. I think it will be very similar to an Apple Store with a lot of apps that would really come in the future. So a whole ecosystem on the Ethereum virtual machine, on other Solana, on other chains that would really develop as utility, and the use cases will be widespread. And this would be accelerated by this. In the bull markets, usually, the greens are stronger than the reds. And the amount of money is really triggered by the environment, the news, the politics. Now it's hope for the future. Would really this hope be materialized during the years? We will see. So we know that in the beginning, also with startups and with other financial assets, we can have explosive growth. So the explosive growth usually is at the beginning of the cycle, and we have Bitcoin and the blue chips, so Ethereum, Solana, and usually afterwards all the others come. Some of them already moved, like SUI, for example, or Kaspa. You can see nice gains already in this. So this is the idea that the context matters. The astrology would be the same. I mean, we cannot change the rules of astrology, bull versus bear market, but we can really see this as an important indicator, so to speak, for what is ahead. This moving average and the fact that the greens are stronger because there is more money in the system. It's the liquidity cycle which really ramps up right now, and then if there is liquidity and money, then this can go into risk assets because interest rates are also lower, borrowing money is easier and less expensive. Therefore, we can do more with the money that we have, and we can also borrow more money for the future, and this really matters. So this is the context in which we are. We will see red. Yes, we will see red. So you have also red aspects. How strong the retracement are, this would be, to be seen. Why I'm saying this, usually in a bear market, these retracements are very strong and the green aspects are weak in terms of money, magnitude. But in a bull market, it's the other way around usually. The main difference this time that we have never experienced before is actually the fact that we have institutional money in crypto. If we will have also favorable regulation, this means that the moves can be very high also downward in order to cash in, for example, in order to put it in the balance sheet if this would be more widespread for certain companies, institutions, banks, and the like. So it will be a new world ready to be explored for us in the next month. Stay tuned for that. And yes, I gave another, so to speak, Astro-based financial indicator to have a view of the whole thing from a different angle. Thank you, and I hope this was useful for you. I hope these examples really helped you to understand it in a deeper way and to see that this is another indicator like we are used in the financial markets in order to assess the state of the market, which we know it's very complex. Thank you for liking and subscribing. It helps the channel, and until next time, be joyful. See you.